welcome to my channel, and I'm Michelle, and on my channel you're going to get the knowledge and the most up-to-date resources that you need to inspire and transform your life. In today's video, I'm going to discuss why change is so hard. Most people have an idea of what to do or what they want to change. The challenge comes in that so many things with who we are unconscious. Studies show that by the time we're 35 years of age, that 95% of who we are, the way we talk, the way we think, the way we feel, the way we behave, the way we react, are all a set of unconscious programs. Every time we learn something new, we are forming a new neural pathway in the brain. It's just like a path or a driveway that you're going up. And every time we repeat that same thought, behavior, feeling, or reaction associated with that learning, we are etching in more of that pathway. That is why it is so challenging to change old habits. The habits are associated with a pathway wired into the brain. Imagine driving to work the same way you do every single day. You are less aware, you're pretty much on autopilot. Often you might miss an exit or you might be thinking about something else. You can pretty well multitask and be on autopilot and make it to work safely. But imagine if for some reason you had to take a different way to work. On that way to work, you would be more conscious, you would be more aware, you would be thinking about where might be the next exit, you would be paying attention to the signs to get to the destination in which you're going. I know often as I'm traveling to a destination on autopilot, I don't even read the signs. So if someone were to ask me directions via what signs come next, I often cannot tell them or describe to them the exits because I realize I'm on autopilot. I've been traveling that same pathway or streets for so long, I don't even know. I'm just on autopilot when I get into my car and drive. The good news is we can create a new pathway. So say you were going to take that different route that you had taken to work the following day or another time or two, you are literally creating a new pathway in which that will override or divert away from that old pathway that you have. The secret is to focus on the solution or creating another pathway instead of focusing on the old pathway or the old habit in which we are trying to change. Say you want to lose weight. You would focus on the solution rather than the problem. What you would do is you would focus on researching foods that you like. You would research meal plans or maybe the efficiency of how to prep your meals. You would maybe research and make a schedule of how to do your meal prep. You would think about the exercise or activity that you like to do, because if you don't like the foods that you eat and you don't like the exercise that you've chosen, you won't keep doing the program. Instead of focusing like so many do, where they actually focus on the foods that they feel that they're giving up, and they feel like the social connection or the time that they'll lose if they have started a new exercise regimen. Repeating these new routines will create a new pathway in the brain. Studies say that it takes 21 to 30 days to form a habit, and that is what they're talking about, literally creating a new brain pathway, a new neurocircuitry in which to travel down the road. The information or the messages that you're receiving, the thoughts and things, that's actually your neuro pathway. So each and every day that you get up, even if you don't want to, and you put on your tennis shoes and you eat that new plan and you make those meals that you've chosen to make and you stick to your plan, each and every time you do that is a win. It's not so much the days as the number of repetition that you've given to the new habit that you're trying to form. The circuitry is based on the number of times driven down that path, or just like taking that road to work. The more times you take a new path, the easier it gets, the more ingrained it becomes, like a fingerprint on the brain. When we fall back to that old habit, it's okay. It just means that that old habit has a greater pathway than the new habit. Understand, it's not willpower and it's not that you're a failure. All it is that you've got to create and just keep going down that same path and give yourself grace. Giving yourself grace and allowing it to be okay without beating up on yourself, and knowing that you got this, that you can create a new habit, because all that it is, it's just science. All that it is that you've got to travel down that path just a few more times. And when you give yourself grace, you'll get there. Studies show that the brain does not know the difference between a thought of something happening, or that you are physically and actually in the event, or actually performing the event. There are so many times that athletes actually use this. There are athletes that get injured, and during their period or time that they're away from the sport, they are trained to mentally rehearse as if they were playing the game, as if they were dribbling the basketball, as if they were receiving that football, as if they were making a touchdown. Whatever that they're doing, they are told to mentally rehearse. It is creating the neural network in your brain. Say you're back to trying to lose that weight. You're going to do the exact same thing. Though you are making your meals and though you're exercising ahead of the event, think about how excited or how much you are going to feel good about yourself when you work out, when you eat that good meal. And as you begin mentally rehearsing or programming your brain with those new pathways, you will find yourself literally inside that exercise without dreading it. You will literally find yourself not fighting that donut that you thought was willpower. It's just creating that pathway. There was a study where they took a group of golfers, and one set of golfers were just told to play golf like they normally played golf. And then group B was told to play golf and mentally rehearse ahead of the game of their strokes, their hits, and visualize how their shots would go and the distance. And they were told to do this for a period of time. And at the end of the study, the group B did remarkably better at their golf games than group A, who just practiced and played golf. Another study, there was a group of piano players, and they took one set of piano players and they told them to just play the piano chords like they normally would play. And then they had one set of piano players that they were told not to play any at all and just mentally rehearse. And then they had group C piano players, and they told them to mentally rehearse ahead of their playtime that they would be able to play for their event. And at the end of the event, to no surprise, Group C did remarkably better at playing the piano. They were able to play the chords much better, the memory much better, and what this shows is they were literally creating that neurocircuitry or the pathway in which to form those habits ahead of the event. Another study showed that they took a group of participants and they were told to work out. And they were told there was a group that were to work out like you would regularly lift weights. And then Group B was told to mentally rehearse lifting the weight. At the end of that study, to no surprise, the men who mentally rehearsed lifting weights increased their muscle strength as opposed to just working out. To create the new habits in which you want to do, you're doing the exact same thing. If you want to lose weight, you are literally mentally rehearsing ahead of the event, as well as creating those new habits or new behaviors to form the pathways. If you're wanting to be a speaker and you're shy or you have social anxiety, you're going to rehearse mentally walking into a room and feeling calmly instead of how your body is programmed with the old pathway of feeling sweaty or the heartbeat beating a lot, just feeling real nervous. I remember when I just started doing Facebook Lives, I would literally feel like I was breaking out, like I was hot all over and my face would get super flushed. It's just amazing out the things that we are so fearful of, and it's not the fear, it's the pathway. When you realize you've got a pathway and that pathway has that memorized emotion with it, you understand it's not your fault and you can get out of it. It's just a program. You know you want to make change. The chances are, if you are still watching this video, you are ready to change. It's so scary to make change because we know that there are costs. Just like an admission into a movie, there is going to be a price to pay. But know that those costs are going to be worth it. It's just like paying your admission into that movie. On the other side, you don't know if that movie's gonna be a good movie or if that movie's gonna be a wash, but you take your chances and you lay upon that money to watch that movie, and then there you are. You're beneath those movie seats and you're waiting for the movie to come out. Well, change is just like that. There is going to be a cost. The one thing that you've got to be okay with is uncertainty. Uncertainty that it might not go the way you want it at first. You have to be okay with it. You have to be okay with saying, okay, I'm going to change jobs, and I'm going to be okay if things aren't like I thought they were. I'm going to be okay if I try, because what I can tell you and what I can promise you is if you don't make that attempt to change, the cost of regret. What stops a lot of people is they feel like they have to have their life scripted out. They have to know what's coming next. Even if they are not okay with their life, even if they are not okay, if they're not in a good relationship, if they're not in a job that makes them happy, if they're not in a body that makes them happy, people would rather return to the familiar of certainty than venture out into uncertainty, where the chances are you're going to find opportunity and the chance to be who you were meant to be. is way greater than the cost of uncertainty. Number 2 cost of change is you've got to be okay with knowing that other people are going to judge and other people are going to criticize you. It has nothing to do with you. You have to understand, as you make a change, it makes other people uncomfortable. You're not conforming to who they think you are, who they want you to be. I can share with you some experiences just from starting this channel. I have friends with channels who were like, why are you doing that? You know, it's so hard to get monetized, and here I am, very, very close. So do not let other people distract you from making change. You've got to be okay with it. You've got to prepare yourself that when you make a change or you are getting ready to start making your change, that you are going to prepare yourself for people not to like it. The higher up you go, the more successful you are, the more people will balk at you, the more they will criticize you, and the more they will hate on you. It is not personal. Remember, your perception of yourself is what matters. It's not the opinions of other people. They don't know your dreams, your aspirations, and only you know what those are. So you've got to be able to accept, I'm going to be okay with it. I'm going to be okay if my boyfriend doesn't like it. I'm going to be okay if my sister doesn't like it. I'm going to be okay if my friend doesn't like it. You've got to be okay with those around you not being okay with it, because that's going to happen. One of the biggest things that I hear from my clients is that they're having a hard time making that change because they do not have support systems near them. Their families aren't supportive of their weight loss program, or they're not supportive of them wanting to lose weight. And when we get into talking about why those people feel like they don't like it, what we find often is it's a reflection of those other people's lack of ambition. They're often people who have struggled with weight or struggled not reaching a goal, and here you are. You're someone with aspirations and dreams and goals, and you're ready to go. Even if you don't know how to do it, you're fearless often, and you go, and that makes people uncomfortable, seeing that you can go without having someone to support you. And I promise you, and I do promise you, that if you are willing to walk alone in the beginning, when you get to the top of the mountain, even before you get to the top of the mountain, you will attract the people in your life that you need to hold your hands and be there for you. Because as you see, as you get more successful, as you reach your goals, you're going to have others to collaborate with. They are going to help you. They are going to guide you. They are going to cheer you on. And they're going to be there for you as you get to the top. Don't you not make that change because someone's not supporting you. Your husband's not supporting you. Your family's not supporting you. Don't you look out tomorrow, 10 years from now, and look back with that regret because you let someone else's opinion or judgment stop you from being the greatest person that you were meant to be. Cost number 3 is going to be the struggle. Know that there is going to be struggle when you make change. Be prepared. Know it's going to be okay. Know that there's going to be times that you want to reach for that brownie, and you know that you have the power to refrain. know that you have it in you. Know it's going to be okay that you might miss some extra TV shows. You might miss a ball game. You might miss a social event because you needed to work on something for your channel, or that you needed to work on a project to grow your business. But know that if you will stay in the boat, you will get to shore. Know that the growth is in the challenge. That's why not everybody grows. Not everybody gets to the top. There's so much room down below. And know that there's room for you at the top. The power is in the struggle. Know that once you get to shore, you've got it. Each and every time you master that habit of change, just one time, that one behavior, one time more, it is going to be a win-win. You're going to get past the uncertainty. You're going to get past the judgment. You're going to get past the criticism. You're going to get past the struggle. And when you do, you're going to be so proud of yourself. It was the journey that made you who you were meant to be. 95% of people who make New Year's resolutions have quit by the 15th of January. It's not very compelling to make New Year's resolution or goals if we just know that we're going to quit them. The big thing is you've got to really think about much more than your resolution. It's not very compelling to say, ooh, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to make some more money, or I want to have a better relationship. You've got to start with a vision. Your vision is just like the floor plan for you building your home. You've got to be able to see who you want to be once you reach that goal, or that you've met that habit. Why do you want to make that a habit? Why do you want to lose weight? You've got to have more than to look good. It's got to be compelling, something that drives you for the end of it, for the vision that you will have. Number two, you've got to have a reason. I cannot emphasize this enough. There will be days and there will be nights that you will have many challenges. You may work late, and if you do not have a strong enough vision nor a strong enough reason, you will skip that workout. You will skip that healthy meal that you had prepped or scheduled to eat when all the people from the office went out and they were having margaritas and double nachos or whatever it is that they were having. So you've really got to think about what vision, a compelling vision, something that drives you. And it's almost got to scare you, I will say. If it's not that exciting, it's not that compelling. And the reason, what is the reason? Is it your family? Do you want to be a healthier person to raise your children, to raise your grandchildren? Do you want to make more money to have a charity, to build a foster home? What are your ambitions? What are your reasons why you want to make that new habit a habit? Vision plus reason equals long-lasting change. Think about a time that you really wanted something. Maybe it was your first car, your first motorcycle, your first mountain bike, but you really wanted something. Think about what you did. You ate, drank, slept what you wanted. You thought about it all the time, and when you thought about it, you were feeling the emotions, the excitement about it, and each day you woke back up, you thought about that again. You thought about getting there, feeling it, how it would feel. It's the same exact thing once you decide that you want to make change you've put your goals, you've set up your behaviors, you've got your plan. You've got to revisit this every single day. My encouragements to you is to start a journal or a notebook, and I would really encourage a notebook. Just paper doesn't seem to be as compelling. When you can come back to a notebook, you can flip through that notebook and revisit your plans, your aspirations, your dreams, your end product of what you want to see, and revisit that notebook every single day. I would encourage you, anytime I've ever had a challenging goal that I wanted to do or change a habit, I developed a habit notebook, and it was just that. The only thing I wrote was my habit notebook. If you're someone who is wanting to lose weight, develop a habit notebook. And number one, write your vision. What is your vision? You can even clip out pictures of what you want your body to look like. These are things I've done. The swimsuits you might want to wear, the type of clothing. You might change your clothing type. You might change your hairstyle. You might change your hair color. And then below your vision, write out your reasons. What are your reasons for wanting to make the change? If it's your family, it's nice to put family photos sometimes in this little notebooks, just little snippets, something to just give you a little feel good when you look at that, and revisit that every day. And then as you revisit your journal each day, I put little check marks, but you do whatever works for you, whatever makes you feel good, to make you feel like you've marked it off. Put that check mark, just put the check mark, worked out 30 minutes, ate healthy meal today, whatever those goals or the plan is, make it a checklist and just check it off in your notebook. And each and every day as you go through, you will be able to see your progress. And through the weeks and even the months, and some of mine have been for years, it's very exciting that you can go back and revisit your habit journal and see what habits that you were actually working on during that period of time in your life. The part of your brain called the reticular activating system. And what that part of the brain does is it helps you find what you're looking for. Ever get a red car and notice that there were just red cars everywhere? Or ever get a dress and notice that there were so many dresses similar to your dress, or anything in particular that you ever got that there was more of the minute that you got something? What that does is it is helping you prime or scope out your environment to look for those things that you're looking for. That's why it's very important to have that vision, because when you create that vision with the reason, you are giving your brain something to work on. You're giving it what the project is. It is then searching out, even if you don't know how to do what you want to do, it will start to give you the answers. Ever notice that when you were really trying to get something really hard, synchronicities just started happening and people were falling into your life and you were meeting someone by coincidence, if there is such a thing? That is actually how all of that is happening. So to recap, for every change that you want to make, you've got to create a new pathway. Every new thought, or every time you learn something new, you are creating a new pathway in the brain instead of stomping on the pathway that you currently have, which is your old habit. It's just like traveling back on that way to work or the way home where you used to live, how it's that same old trip. But as you create a new pathway, you start to develop and you start to create the things in your life to bring you closer to reaching that habit. Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about what stress is, what stress does to our minds and our bodies, and stay tuned till the end. I'm going to tell you how to manage stress. What is stress? Stress is nothing but a psychological or a physical response to a stressor. Our bodies and our minds believe that we are being chased by the tiger, when that tiger could be a co-worker, it could be a family member, it could be a dreaded event that you are thinking about over and over. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is not with just the thought alone. What can we do? What happens to our minds and what happens to our bodies when that's going on? First of all, emotionally, what happens is we begin to feel a lot of fear and we begin to feel a lot of anxiety, because our minds are producing, our brain is producing adrenaline and cortisol. That is what's happening in the body. And what happens with adrenaline is that is like the fire hormone. It sends you just in a race or in a frenzy, as if you were being chased by the tiger. If you were being chased by the tiger, you wouldn't be like, I didn't get enough sleep, so I don't think I can outrun that tiger today. That would not even be a thought at all when you have adrenaline pumping in your body. Next, you have cortisol that is raging through your body, and cortisol is that stress hormone that nobody won't. Ever have some belly fat and you can't get rid of the belly fat, and you're eating good and you're sleeping enough and you're doing everything right, but you have too much stress in your life? It's cortisol. Cortisol is actually causing your body to retain fat around your abdomen area. Your abdomen is considered very vital. A lot of organs, your intestines, your liver, your pancreas, and the more fat you have, it protects your body from damage. So if you were in fight or flight of fleeing from that tiger, your body would need to have that fat should that tiger get you and get a hold of you to hold on to your organs and to protect you. We've got adrenaline and cortisol going all throughout our body, which is making us feel crazy. That's the stress. Physically, what is going on when you are under stress? Your blood pressure goes up. You might feel flushed. You start to feel constipated. Your bowels aren't moving because now your intestines are sluggish and they are not moving. Slowed mobility. You start to have heartburn because your stomach enzymes are not producing, and therefore you're feeling like you have heartburn all the time, and then it's stress. You start to get tunnel vision because you've got to get out. You can't be looking at everything around you when the tiger is chasing. You got to be looking for the way out. So that's when you're feeling stressed. You're in the stress. You can't see any way out. You're just overwhelmed. That is when you are in stress. So what can you do about it? Number one is take care of yourself. Easier said than done. So what does taking care of yourself mean? Number one is get enough sleep, and get sleep on a routine cycle. Get sleep on a schedule. So if 9 o'clock at night makes you feel good to go to bed, set your schedule for 9 o'clock and get up on a schedule. Your body is a program, so you've got to set the program that's best for your body. Number two, work on decreasing your sugar intake. Your body cannot break down sugar. It is a foreign particle, just like a virus. It doesn't know what to do with it. People with high intake of daily sugar have higher levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. Increase those veggies, increase those fibers, and they help rid the body of the sugars that you have in them. Decrease your alcohol intake. A lot of people drink alcohol to relax, but it actually can have the reverse effect. Alcohol is a depressant, and so if you're feeling stressed and you're using alcohol as a stress reliever, what happens is it starts to mess with your sleep cycles and your other hormones. Decrease caffeine. Studies say we shouldn't have over 2 cups of coffee a day. Anything more than 2 starts to mess with your hormones, and the hormones are the precursor to all of these stress. Anytime you start to feel stress, you've got an imbalance of your hormones, which is taken over emotionally and physically. And last, you want to schedule time to do nothing. No chores, no writing to-do list, no cleaning, and nada. Scheduling time for nothing allows the body to calm down, to feel that it's not at threat, that it's not focused on searching out the environment for things that are stressing. Being aware of your breath is something that is magical with helping you reduce stress. As you take an inspiration or you take a breath through your nose, as you exhale, be sure that that exhalation breath is longer than your inhalation. What happens is that changes the body physiology into recognizing that it's no longer having the stress and no longer having to run or feel that it has to flee from danger. Pay attention to your body's positioning. As you pay attention to how you're sitting upright, if you're not sit upright at a time that you're feeling stressed, this allows for full lung expansion, and when your lungs can expand, you can get more breath and more air in. Reposition your feet. Your feet should be flat on the floor so that it allows blood flow to go all the way from your head to your toes, and this again will help decrease your stress level. Pay attention to the sounds around you. Do you hear the birds chirp? Do you hear the skies? Do you hear the air conditioner on? Can you hear a water faucet? When you bring your attention to the present moment, focusing on the sounds, your breath, how your body is positioning, it is bringing you to the present moment where you are literally changing your physiology to decrease stress. Pay attention to your thoughts. As you're sitting still, you'll notice that your thoughts come and go. Just pay attention. Try not to assign emotion. Just pay attention. Let them pass and sit still. The more that you can become in the present moment, you're training your body to become calm and to gain more focus. Stress is inevitable. We either have to learn how to deal with stress or stress will take us over. You know, the world tells us to get away from them, but they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Some days, to tell you the truth, we're all got a little negativity in us. This is what I would tell you. The world has conditioned everyone pretty much to be negative. We grew up with kids teasing kids, teachers picking on kids, parents picking on kids, and the whole world picking on people and dividing them and making them upset and making them negative. So this is what I tell you. Have a little empathy for those people on those negative days. You've had your negative days. You've had your negative Nancy. And I'm sure you'll have many more. Understand that when someone's being negative, it's not perfect. Anytime someone is reacting towards what you think is you, it's their feelings. It's not what they're saying. It's not what they're doing. All behaviors are a reflection of how we feel. The world is a mirror of ourselves. And the things that are directly around us is a reflection of how we feel. That's how one person can see one thing a different way than another person. And so my tips to you would be to be empathetic. When someone's having a down day or being negative, the first thing is don't take it personal. The second thing is don't you dare say, that negative person, because that instantly changes your vibration, and then you are now on their vibration. Nobody can help anybody down in the gutter, so you've got to pull yourself back up to your rainbow. You've got to know that you are there to support and empathize with that person who's having a bad day. You don't have to give them help. They don't want help. You know this. When you don't feel good and you're feeling negative, you don't want anyone to help you out. You just need to keep your distance, send some love, some virtual hugs, and be there. Know that if you'll keep your energy up and you'll send out love, we'll actually help get rid of some of those negative Nancys out there. Certainly not have as many. As you know, when someone is treating you bad on a day that you're not feeling good, that's just making you even more meaner than you already planned on being mean that day or not feeling it, for sure. So let me know, do you have any negative Nancys in your life? Are you living with one? Do you work with one? Comment down below. Let me know your take on how you deal with negative people. Gratitude is the ultimate signature of receivership. What does that even mean? See, we've been conditioned and taught by the world that gratitude is something that we feel after we receive something. But in actuality, with the laws of the universe, gratitude is the receiving of something before you receive that. Gratitude basically is when you have an elevated emotion linked with something. So that could be a thought, that could be an event, but how to find gratitude when you can't find gratitude. Let's talk about some of the benefits of gratitude. So studies have shown that people who feel gratitude routinely, daily, are happier, healthy people. There are studies. Studies show that when a person is grateful, their body internally upgrades the genes for health. That means it's like producing the finest of cells within your body. But when a person is feeling lack, and when they're feeling a lack of gratitude, they're actually down regulating their genes. And what does that mean? Well, that means just like making a bunch of cells in your body, but they're kind of cheap quality. And then it keeps producing cheaper and cheaper quality, and that's where you get the disease processes. A lot of illnesses are associated with emotions would be cancer, chronic pain, chronic constipation, autoimmune disorders. And so it's very important to understand the benefits of gratitude. So we've talked about how gratitude is good for the body. Let's talk about emotionally what happens. When a person takes time out of the day to sit and think of a few things they are grateful for, they literally are changing their emotional state. Did you know you cannot experience two emotions at the same time? It's just not physiologically possible. You can't feel fear and feel grateful at the same time. You can't feel hate and grateful at the same time, nor can you feel judgmental and gratitude at the same time. So when you can place your energy and your focus on gratitude, you are raising your vibration, as we say. All of us have this energy field around us, and we've got this brain of ours, and we've got this heart of ours. And the heart and the brain have two separate minds. Did you know that the heart has its own mind, and that it sends out signals 100 times more powerful than the brain could ever do? The Heart Math Institute has several studies on where gratitude comes in. Gratitude is when you are thinking and feeling from the heart. When you are thinking thoughts of imperfections, or when you are feeling fear, those are thoughts derived coming from the mind or the brain. The brain is meant for survival. It's made to protect us. That's why when we step out of our comfort zone, it feels so that we don't want to do it anymore, and that we want to get right back into our safe spot. And that's what happens. Our brain is tricking us that something is going to happen if we do something. That's why gratitude is so really powerful and important. So something I would encourage you, and I'll share a tip of mine. In the morning when I awake, and in the morning would be one of the best times to do this, take out a piece of paper and write down things you're grateful for. Even if you don't think you have anything grateful to be grateful for, think about you woke up today, you have breath today. Maybe you have a car. It might not be the car you want. At least that car gets you somewhere. That you've got electricity. Maybe you've got extremities, and in there's people without those things, and often, especially right now, I can share with you some true gratefulness that I had not yet ever thought to be grateful for. I'd never ever appreciated just sitting in a restaurant or the convenience of being able to go in without a mask and to enjoy a margarita and to enjoy company and to enjoy hugging and seeing friends and family. And so those are some huge opportunities maybe to see the things that you are grateful for. Feel like you're in a funk or maybe not having a good day. Take time, grab that pen, grab that paper, and jot down some things and watch what happens. I encourage you to do that. Even if in this video, grab a piece of paper, jot out 5 things that you're grateful for, and keep that list. If you're someone that's maybe experiencing a hard time, put it in that back pocket, shove it in that purse, and when you're just not having a good day, take that out. You know, there are some few promises, and I'll say this, when I've got up and I've had maybe a really not good day and not feeling it, I remind myself, I've got the promise of the skies, we've got the sun, that the world is going to be okay, the day is going to be okay. And so it's really about being able to find that moment of gratitude before it happens. Try it. Try today as you go to bed, or if you're getting up when you watch this video, try just grabbing a piece of paper and jotting down some things that you're grateful for, and you would be amazed what happens. Studies also have shown that gratitude being one of the highest vibrations that there is you actually are attracting the things in your life. You are attracting good health, you're attracting good relationship, you're attracting money. Money is energy, and that's all vibration is. When you got vibrations that are really high, you're drawing to you more energy. Ever notice when you're not feeling good, like no one wants to be around you, or you don't want to be around someone not feeling good? It's that same thing. Gratitude is just that feeling. You know when you're grateful for something. You ever just receive something unexpectedly, you feel so much more, I would say, elevated emotion than had you known something was coming, to get something and not expect it. So I would really encourage you to try some moments of gratitude this week. What is visualization? How does visualization work? And how to apply visualization in your life using the law of attraction. First of all, what is visualization? We do this every single day. Do you ever think about your car? Do you think about the car that you're getting into, and when you're opening up the door, or you're envisioning a vacation ahead of the time, or you are thinking about a vacation in past time? You're actually creating images in your brain, the subconscious brain, which are visual images that actually construct a picture for your brain to associate with a memory. We do this every single day unintentionally. We think about it when we think about something. We might want a patio set, or we might want a new car, or we might want a new relationship, or a new job position, or thinking about something developmentally that we want to do. How visualization works is it actually creates visual images using or in the subconscious brain. Now, here's the thing about visual images. Using the subconscious brain is how we get into the programming system. There are 2 times that we can get into our operational system in our head, and that is in the morning as we awake, and as we get into bed and we start to get ready to go to sleep, and we're kind of in that drifty off before going to sleep. Those are the 2 times that we can break in or crack open, so to say, the lock into the subconscious mind. At that time would be the best times to use visualization. So we've covered what visualization is. It's actually creating a visual image within the image, but we want to talk about how to apply visualization. Visualization for creating the things you want. Most people are creating things they don't want. They're focused on things they don't want, the things that they lack. They're thinking about the traffic, and they're thinking about the bills, and they're thinking about everything else that they can think of. But what you want to do is, in your time of visualization, you want to create mental images of the things that you want. You want a new car. Create that image in your brain. Create it. Think of the color. Create the image. I close my eyes. Try to really feel into the visualization. Focus on maybe the interior of the car. Focus on how the steering wheel feels as you're gripping it. Focus how the gas pedal feels. If it's got a clutch or it doesn't have a clutch. How the gears sound. All of these things help create a good visual image of the actual thing that you want. If you're wanting a type of a relationship, think of that relationship. Maybe don't even put an image of a face on it. Have in the mental image or the visualization, maybe holding hands, or the things that you cherish that you want. Maybe laughing with someone, maybe holding their hand, maybe going to the park, maybe going bowling. Whatever you find that would be very fun for you to have, start creating in mental images. And the subconscious brain starts to rewrite the program instead of the program that you're running. Program that you're running is keeping you where you're at. That's why you're driving the same car. That's why you're making the same money. That's why you're in the same relationship maybe that you don't want, or you want it to be better. And the things about this is creating that image. So at first you may not believe it, and that's okay. You have to start somewhere. Everything created has been created twice. Once in the mind and then out into the real world. So from the imagination, and that is where the mental imagery is coming in. As you awake in the morning, if you could put it in with a habit. Mine is, for instance, after I brush my teeth, I sit down into a warm, cozy chair, and then I form like a movie in my mind. I kind of just bring up some really good pictures and just sit there and imagine. Kind of put yourself as if you're in first person, you're walking through, you're feeling it, you're truly imagining, you're forming the visual image on your brain, what is actually happening, as if you are there, as if you are feeling it. And go through this day by day by day. You really want to see it work really quick. Try this as you're drifting off to sleep. As I drift off to sleep and I get all snuggled up into the bed, and you've got everything beside you, as most people go off, they're going to sleep and dreading, maybe they're thinking about the things they don't want, or about tomorrow, or the things they don't want to engage in, or the people they don't want to see. Instead, if you could rewrite and just form the images of the pictures of the things you want as you go to bed. Form as you go to bed. How much more fun is this? To lay in bed and think about you driving the car. That is actually what I am even doing. My new car, I want a BMW Mercedes convertible, and so I go to bed like envisioning like my hair blowing back, just cruising down the road, my tan leather interior. But whatever car you want, or say you want a boat, say you want a vacation, put that image in there. Are you outside in a luxury chair upon the beach? Are you on the Miami beach strand? Do you have a margarita in your hand, or whatever your favorite koozie might be? Imagine the water and listening to the water come up on you. And sometimes what I like to do is turn on that sleep music, and it will actually have the nature sounds, and you can actually create more of your imagination with your visionary things at this time. Listening to that music, as I listen to the beach waves come up on the shore, I can imagine laying out on the beach. I promise you, if you will keep doing this day in and day out, these things will appear. These things will appear a lot sooner. The law of attraction is simply that attract by like versus like. Anything that you're focused on, you're attracting, whether that's negative or positive. Why not change the destination of your life? Instead of focusing on the things you do not want, instead of focusing on the things that you dread tomorrow, tonight, go to bed and put in your head of maybe that dream home. Dream about or form those images of opening the door, taking the new keys from the realtor, walking through, turning on the water faucet, looking at the new yoga studio. This is actually part of my mental imagery I'll share with you. Going into the backyard, looking at the pool or the jacuzzi or your horses or your puppies, whatever you can come up with. Kind of think about the things that you would like to create for your future, and you can change these pictures around. It literally becomes life-changing when you get up and you make it a routine of just sitting and forming these mental or visualizations, visual images as you're sitting there. And it doesn't take long. In the minutes, I give like 10 or 15 minutes. At night, I just do that until I fall asleep. I get all snuggled up and my brain is human just like yours. It will start to think about maybe something else, and then I'll be like, oh no, this is my time. This is my time to create, and I do not want to create my past, recreating the past of the things that I don't want. So I literally start rechanging and flipping those pages as if a new page in a book, knowing that I am going to create a new day with my new picture. So I would encourage you to try out visualization. Let me know if you're someone who uses visualization imagery. Comment down below, share some of your tips. Made the commitment. You're ready to go to the gym. This is it. I want to get you ready so that your first trip to the gym is going to be successful. A lot of people go to the gym, and if you're not prepared, you're not going to be successful or feel good. Therefore, you're probably not going to go back. So the first thing you need is adequate sleep. You must have good sleep to make any gains in the gym, whether you're gaining muscle or whether you're losing weight. There have been numerous studies, but specifically a study where they took athletes and they had them undergo mental and emotional tests with adequate sleep. And then they ran those same athletes back through the same studies with no sleep. What this found is all of the athletes fatigued. They reported a feeling that it took a lot more energy to do the same exact exercises, and they wanted to give up. It forces the brain to want to give up when you have to exert so much energy for something just to get a small amount done. So adequate sleep. Everyone has a different number, but you want to make sure you get good night's sleep, or you take a nap and you work out after that nap. Sleep is crucial. Number 2, comfortable clothing. This is so important for lots of reasons. You have to make sure that when you go to the gym that you've got, whether it's going to be shorts or yoga pants or whatever you wear, that it's comfortable. And when I say comfortable, I don't just mean loose. Do you feel comfortable in the clothing, or you're not going to exercise and do the activities that would probably benefit your mind and body the most? I see a lot of people start to do exercises in the gym and they realize that their shorts do not have enough covering, or they don't have the second layer beneath, and they're not able to perform that exercise. Or they start to maybe do jumping jacks and the shirt is too short and their belly is hanging out. So you want to make sure that you've got comfortable clothing so that you're going to feel secure walking into the gym to get that workout done. Number 3, you want to have a plan. Even if you have no experience in working out, even if you don't know how to use the machines or the weight, you want to get a plan. There are all kind of apps. I use an app myself that has videos for each and every exercise There are printout workouts online. A lot of them are free, a lot of them are paid. You can take your choice, but it's better to have a plan. If you walk in the gym without a plan, instead of just making the workouts on a whim, and I'm telling you this from personal experience, you are more likely to give up and not work out as hard. If you walk in there and say you're gonna take leg extensions and you know that, you're gonna go there and you're gonna have a plan and you know what you're going to do next and the following. If you don't have that plan workout, something in your hand or an app or a piece of paper, your mind is going to trick you as to what's open and what's not, and you're going to find yourself making decisions that probably are not in your best interest for making physical gain. The next one I would encourage you is so much. I know a lot of people do not take supplements, and there's lots of pros and cons to almost everything, but I feel this is very crucial if you're going to go to the gym. You're going to go to the gym to make gains, rather gain muscle or lose fat. And there is nothing but a downer than if you get to the gym and you don't have energy once you start to get through that workout. So I would encourage BCAAs, branch chain amino acids. These are essential. That means your body cannot produce these amino acids. Working out without consumption of a BCAA, when your body starts to pull energy from reserves, if you do not have enough essential amino acids in your body, it will pull from your own body. Therefore, you will not be making gains if your body's borrowing from itself to start with. BCAAs, I can tell you, are a huge difference. If you don't believe it, try a workout with BCAAs and try the same workout without BCAAs. The best way to take a BCAA, you can buy them in pills. I prefer to drink them throughout my workout, but some people drink them immediately before, or you can sip them throughout your workout. BCAAs have shown in studies to increase your muscle mass, have shown to improve recovery, and definitely decrease muscle soreness. Endurance and soreness are huge to me. Before I started BCAAs, I could barely walk some days after a leg workout. When I added BCAAs, the same exact workout, I was able to go through, not struggle, and not have that post-workout soreness, muscle damage. BCAAs are huge. So I would encourage you to get some of those, keep them in your gym bag, decide which way you're gonna do it, but have those ready. And the fifth thing I believe is super important, and I don't see a lot of this at the gym, is bringing back up energy. You're going to the gym to expend energy. When you exercise, you are using energy, whether you're losing weight or whether you're trying to gain muscle. I think it's very, very crucial to go to the gym with backup energy. Sometimes you need it and sometimes you don't. Whey is a wonderful protein supplement that you can pack and you can take with you. Some gyms sell them, but I know I've been at gyms where I've bought whey and it was spoiled. So having your own source would be a wonderful thing. So either keeping whey with you or keeping an apple in your bag. I can't tell you how many times I've made it to the gym and in a workout you have an extreme bout of rather you have lightheadedness or your sugar drop because your body's not used of using that much energy in the beginning at first anyway. You get to the gym, even if you ate before and you're 30 minutes into a workout and you're seeing stars. The last thing you want to do is go home when you've been having a killer workout you've started to make your commitment, and now you're not feeling well. And all it takes is one bad trip to the gym that you do not want to go back, especially if it's your first one. If you got that backup source, I can tell you from experience, I literally will just take a seat, have either I make my own protein bars, I will have my protein bars or my whey or my apple, have that, and within 2 or 3 minutes, I'm back on my feet, feeling good and cranking it. But had I not have that extra source of energy, the workout would have been over and it would have been time to go home. The protein bars that you see that a lot of gyms sell, they are not really great for in workouts. I will tell you, if you're having a sugar crash, I've had rebound blood sugar issues with those bars. So be careful with that. They work outside of the gym and sometimes before the gym, but in the middle of a routine where you're actually lifting weight and expending energy, you really need something fast, glycogen, or something that the cells are going to take up readily. And a whey shake or an apple or some type of homemade protein bars like I make work. I carry them in a Ziploc, and I don't eat them all the time. If I made it through the workout without it, that's great. If I didn't, I got it. So guys, don't forget, those are the 5 tips. Get ready, hit the gym, and I'll see you back. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe below, and I'll see you back in the next video.